Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Richardson and I own Liquid Proust Teas. Today we are starting off ProustCha episode 1. Today's episode is all about why the name Liquid Proust. I get this question a lot. I've told people for 6 years now that I was not going to give that information out on a broad public spectrum. That's now changed. It's grown a little bit larger, and even though I am a one-man business shop and I like to connect with everybody person to person, help them get to know my story from who they're buying from, who they're supporting, now's the time to kind of put something together. So as I brew this 2021 Alishan Gaba, this is a green Gaba tea, so that means that it actually had an anaerobic process. It makes it so that there is a larger depth to the tea, so rather than just tasting the high notes of what would be considered high mountain oolong in Taiwan, you actually get what I would consider kind of like compressed air and atmosphere in it that adds a little bit more like wonkiness. Very basic setup today. We'll get more into tea setups and whatnot as we go along. But today's all about why the name Liquid Proust. So let's go back. The year is 2014. I pick up a book in the Penguin Classics Deluxe series called Swan's Way from Marcel Proust. Somebody born in 1871 and passed away in 1922, almost 100 years ago. This is a very important novel for many different reasons. And it's very interesting that this is the novel that actually grabbed me and pulled me into the concept of Liquid Proust because of what's in here. And we'll talk about that. So, it's 2014. I'm reading it. I'll throw a picture up here. It's a great time. Literally changed the course of direction in the way that I processed, my life as my own individual and the way that I thought. And I think everybody should have a novel like that at some point in their life that kind of just takes the path that you're on, kind of moves it like this, or maybe it makes you go a little bit backwards. Maybe it takes you that way or this way. Either way, it changed where I was heading, and because of that, Liquid Proust was pretty much born, and I consider that an experience, right? So the idea of Liquid Proust, so tea, liquid Proust is literally, tea is the Liquid Proust, the liquid experience. That's what it means to me, and I want to convey that to everybody, and that's why when I originally started blending teas, I tried to build up things that would do what's called a Proustarian effect, right? You can read more on that, but essentially different ways to kind of interpret that. But Proust, in his novel, as he's eating the mandolin, before science really dove into that topic, he talked about and expressed in his writing how the sense of smell and the sense of taste brings up memories. So to think about this right here, which changed everything for me, this is actually twice the amount of words as War and Peace. When you read the whole thing, this is book 1 of 7. And I'll put a little link below about what it's about. I wouldn't recommend it unless you really are into reading. It's very lengthy, it's long. There's a lot of great concepts, and the way he writes is very metaphysical in a way. So it gets wordy. So as I pick this up, the first thing that gravitates, you go 4 pages in. This is the introduction. Only 4 pages into the book. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just writing about waking up, like as your body wakes up, and he's talking about how his brain and his body's learning about the whole surroundings all over again. And it's just the way that he writes that captured me. And this is just a few words, right? So perhaps the immobility of things around us is imposed on them by the certainty that they are themselves and not anything else, by the immobility of our mind confronting them. So he literally just breaks out, just wakes up, and this is like the concept of like our body interacting with everything else, and then the mind-body connection. The way he writes is crazy. So, either way, this is what brought about Liquid Proust. And so, as I was born as Liquid Proust on Steepster, the business took a hold in 2015, and I had to come up with a mission statement. You can't just come out with a business just because you want to sell things or because you're into it. So I had a mission statement. I had to think about, why would I create a business? And there is one main reason, and that's because I wanted to increase the quality of life of everybody that I interact with. So the main purpose of Liquid Proust is to improve the quality of life of others, right? But I don't outright say that. So I have 3 main goals that everything I do has to revolve around. that comes into play with number one, experience. It has to come back to experience, right? Number two, community. And I think community is probably one of the most important aspects because it's hard to do all three without other people. And that third one's education. Those will be the three things that you're going to notice that everything I try to do is wrapped up into those three things. Because I think for a higher quality of life, you know, when you have better experiences, whether that's better tea, expanding your horizons in terms of taste, learning about the mind connectivity of your sensation of smell or taste, right? Like how do you recall memories of times here or there, right? This is in search of lost time, which I'm going to talk more about over time. You know, when we get to concepts of, you know, the sense, loss, death, when we talk about love, when we talk about vibrancy of emotions, I'm going to pull in a lot of Proust stuff just to kind of keep it alive in terms of even with tea. So that's how Liquid Proust came about. I hope that answers the question of why Liquid Proust. You know, what's the purpose behind that? And then this is just an introduction to myself in some manner. You'll see there's toolboxes around me. So just so you guys know, I work in finance for a tool company underneath Stanley Black & Decker called Mac Tools. It's what I do for full time. So this is my side thing. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love, is really just driving in, getting into tea because I want to help, again, quality of life. And I think by doing that, you bring about diversity of people you interact with, diversity of what you're enjoying, food, tea, different hobbies, right? And then take all that, put it together, and we have things like Discord, Instagram, right? We've got Facebook groups. We have all these areas where we can connect and really get better at this thing that we all enjoy, which is having good tea, right? Learning about good tea, learning how do I pay for tea, how do I get into this, and it'll be all these topics. So below, if you guys wouldn't mind, just throw a comment. What would you like to see in future videos? What questions do you have? It's going to be from my perspective, right? Now, I can also take another approach and provide different avenues and let you know kind of where I line up. But again, I'm just one person and I'm just helping the whole community. So if you want to join, I'll have Discord down below. Anything else, please let me know. And just so you guys know, as the vendor that says it, I love you all. Thank you very much. You are very, very, very much valuable. Everything that you has is important. So whether you're just somebody reading or watching, that's important. We need viewers. We need people to read. If you're contributing, thank you very much. If you're getting your friends into this, thank you. If you're commenting, awesome. Whatever you're doing, it's valuable to the community. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to whatever else we have in the episodes to come. That being said, you guys get to drive this where we go to. You guys have a nice day and thanks for watching.